So I did this entire video, except I didn't hit record. But today was the Whittaker versus Whittaker early in the morning, Abu Dhabi card. I'm gonna go through each fight, give you my thoughts on each fight one, and yeah, starting with this fight now between Martin Bidet versus Marcus Buchecha. Marcus Buchecha coming in from the BJJ community, former IBJJF champion, multiple time champion. So a lot of us picked him to win because of that, but they shocked everybody, rushed him early, defended the takedowns. It was a very repetitive fight where they would rush him, Marcus Pacheco would go for a takedown, fail miserably, and then Bidet's dirty boxing was what really set him apart here, and he was able to defend those takedowns and land, a couple big hooks in the clinch, couple uppercuts, and that work really helped him in the second and the third. Moving into the second, Bidet got his own takedown, controlled most of the round. Bidet did reverse it at the end, but he still had a easy time controlling and doing more damage than Marcus Buchecha. Moving into the third, Bidet just continued to outgrapple and outwork Marcus Pacheco. He wins 29-28 on all judges' scorecards, right? But you never know what to think about heavyweight, right? You never know. This guy comes in as, IBJJF champion, and you really think that anybody with a little bit of grappling in the UFC heavyweight division, you should be able to get to the top 15. If you have a moderate understanding about how to work on the ground, how to shoot a takedown, and the main thing is cardio, you can go far in the heavyweight division. But maybe it's first fight jitters, or maybe it's something else. Pacheco really did not impress me whatsoever. The striking was close, but nothing really to go home about. But yeah, Martin Day won that fight. We then move on to Stephen Nigan versus Muhammad Yahya. This was an unbelievable fight. Stephen Nigan battered Yahya. He dropped him I think four times in round one, just piecing him up on the feet with quick combinations. Then in round two, he dropped him instantly again, goes in the mount, tries for an arm triangle, and he just battered Muhammad Yahya through 10 minutes until Mark Goddard decided to call off the fight at the end of the second round. Dude, a this was one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen, or at least have seen in recent memories, where a guy comes out here and nearly gets like five. He set the record for most knockdowns in a round with 5, I think. Even though it looked like he got more, but I guess Yahya didn't drop to, his knee or whatever. But man, this was unbelievable, man. Like he missed nearly 90 strikes, but he was just combination after combinations, and it was purely to the head. He was purely trying to take off Oz head, and man, it was such an incredible fight. We then move on to Evil Iceman versus Billy O'Connor. Billy O'Connor wins. Um, Now he did look really good in his last fight. He obviously lost to Bogdan Grad, who fought on this card. But it was very slow first. Evil Eisman was backing up Billy O'Connor with leg kicks, some body kicks here and there. Um, O'Connor then landed a good right hook, and then really the rest of the fight was kind of just meh. It was really a matter of O'Connor looking for a big overhand, and Aswin just walking forward. Nothing to write home about on this fight. But yeah, he won a unanimous decision. It was an awful fight. I'm done talking about it. This, however, was an incredible fight. Duvaltha Ritchie looked amazing against Amanda Rivas tonight. Opened the fight good. She went in for the clinch, got tripped but recovered. Um, and then we go against the cage where nothing happens. The referee warns them, breaks it up. Rivas then could not defend any of the cage work. We then get Richie catching Rivas with an elbow, and she just avoid. Whoa. She just obliterates her on the ground. This was a really good performance by Tabitha Ritchie. Tabitha Ritchie, man, why am I moving so far away back here? Tabitha Ritchie really, really shined tonight. This was, again, women's MMA is either the best fights on the card or the absolute worst taste breaks of all time. But yeah, this is a really good win for her. Why am I doing that? This is a good win for her. Again, her combinations were on point, and those elbows are just too much for Amanda Ribas. Then we move into Davy Grant. By the way, who picked Davy Grant to win this? Well, who picked Davy Grant to win this? I saw a lot of people instantly taking the Devon Blackshire. Which I want to say Devon Blackshire. He is good. Devon Blackshire, 100% is improving fight by fight. He got an early takedown against Grant. Grant was able to get back up against the fence. Then Blackshire got a body triangle. Or no, Grant didn't get up. Grant backed up to the fence, still on the ground. Blackshirt went to the back, went for a body triangle and fought for the neck. Gets a face crank, but doesn't go anywhere. He won the first round. Then Grant opened up round two, go into the body, and you guys know how much I talk about working the body in every one of my videos, especially against a grappler, man. That is how you get rid of their gas tank. And it was solid work. You know, 1-2 hook combination of the body, going up top for the 1-2-3 combination with the jab, body kick, moving into land an uppercut. Like, Davy Grant, over his last four fights, has been such a treat to watch. And he was just brilliant in his timing, the combinations he was throwing, and he picks it right up right at the start of round three, and he ran home with it. Leg kicks, advancing, and I cannot stress this enough. The hooks to the body were the major deciding factor in this fight that took away a lot of the energy that the boxer had, and it really got to him. But now you have Davy Grant. I believe he's on a three-fight win streak, veteran, and yeah, I saw everybody picking the boxer. I was like, well, Davy Grant has good takedown defense. He's really good on the feet. This, I don't know. I just saw this fight going exactly how it went, but a good win for Davy Grant. I should have put money on this fight, but it is what it is. Then we move on to Muslim Salikov versus Carlos Wheel. Man, so I picked Carlos Wheel to win just because I thought, his age, he's been looking incredible in his last few fights. Muslim Salikov, though, is on a different level. He is on a completely different level. Wheel opens the fight pressuring, throwing the jab, trying to find his range, and then on, while he's stepping in, counter right hook by Muslim Salikov, sits him down, he jumps on him, finishes him, and, man, this guy is fucking insane, dude. 42 years old, and this guy looks sharper than most 30-year-old contenders, man. Really good performance by him. I do not know how long he will stick around for, but dude, he definitely has something going on. He has something going on. I'm not accusing him of anything, but like, man, this guy's striking is next level. Obviously, like the most spinning wheel kicks and knockouts or whatever it is. But yeah, really good win for him. Again, a 42-year-old guy out welterweight trying to make his way up. But we then move on to Bryce Mitchell debuting at bantamweight, and I okay, you look at the raw numbers right there. It's it's a completely different fight than what it looks like here. Said found the range early. We got some cage holding at the start, and then he dropped him. He dropped Space Mitchell with the knee early. Landed some shots on the ground, but Bryce used his rubber guard to get up by threatening submissions. And then I gave the first round to Saeed. He definitely did more work in the first, and obviously with the knockdown, right? And then in the second, Bryce got an early takedown, attacked the left arm, couldn't get it. Nurmagomedov then pushes off the fence to get to top of it and get up, but Bryce is able to control him and able to keep the keep the range in that. And then in the third, Saiki got him down, goes to the neck, but Bryce just had better reversals and he just looked sharper on the ground. Again, the numbers don't reflect what this fight was. Definitely a close fight. And it was Bryce Mitchell moving down to bantamweight, who he looks massive at bantamweight. Obviously, he's coming off of the submission loss to John Silva. and then he got knocked out by Josh Emmett, and he lost to Ilya Taporia, but really good win for him. New beginnings at bantamweight, and I can't wait for the Arcane Sanity podcast to pass Joe Rogan's podcast. We then move on to Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Goskov. Man, Krylov has been around for quite some time, man. He opened up with some leg kicks. He even got a big right with staggered Goskov. But Goskov's footwork was really on point tonight. Um, goes right, drops Krylov. Guskov jumps on Krylov, finishes the fight. And I feel bad for Krylov, man. I feel so bad for him. You know, obviously he ran into Dominic Reyes in his last fight, which Dominic Reyes looks like he's back to his form. He's knocking everybody out. Question is that chin, recovered or not? But man, really good win from Bogdan Gostkov, who now breaks into the rankings in 205. And 205 over the next, I would say, 2 years is going to be a really interesting division. You obviously have Magomed Ankalaev as champion. You have Pereira going for a rematch. I think Pereira's going to heavyweight though after this fight regardless. Bogdan Goskov, we'll have to see where he goes, man. But yeah, good win for him. Then we go on to Asul Almabayev beating Jose Ocha. Yet another fight where Ocha outlanded Almabayev severely. But Almabayev had a lot of success in the takedowns, landing 7 or 16. First round, he got the back briefly, went for a face crank under the nose. Ocha did have a lot of success off of the break, so, and that's where most of those shots came from, were when they got up and they broke off of each other. Jose Ocha did a brilliant job in landing some good quick combinations to, get Almabayev to back up a bit and think when he wanted to shoot the takedowns. But Almabayev was able to get him down when he needed to. We got an armbar attempt by Ocha um, at the halfway point of, I believe, round 2 or round 3? I think round 2. But it was a Sue Almabayev pushing the pace of this entire fight. A lot of shots to the body by Jose Ultra, but again, it just wasn't enough to get the fight done, and Almabai was more active with the grappling. He gets done 230-27, 129-28. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about the Almabai fight, the Metro fight, and then obviously we're gonna get to the main event here in a second, but I thought it was a good win for Almabayev. I thought he was very dominant in this fight. I thought that Jose Odra, everything he threw really did not threaten Almabayev whatsoever. He rebounds after losing to Manel Kopp, who Manel Kopp has reached his rising form, and I think Manel Kopp is going to be fighting for the title soon. Now, may then move in to Shara Magomedov versus Mark-Andre Barry. This fight we obviously know, Shara Magomedov coming off of his first career loss to MVP, where MVP kind of just scored him on the feet. Magomedov looked awful in this fight, but this was a night and day difference from that MVP fight. Quick, sharp, Marc-Andre Barrios isn't going to get an early takedown, but it's only brief. And then Shara goes to a flying knee, cuts Marc-Andre Barrios with an elbow on the top of the head, and it was mainly Shara Magomedov winning 90% of the fight on the feet, and then Marc-Andre Barrios catching him here and there. I catch him in the first, or he caught him with the first, with an uppercut. He really had, oh man, okay, dude, when he was in that clinch, and he was able to turn in and land, those uppercuts, man, those are major. Shara Magomedov's chin is unreal. But yeah, man, it was just Shara. He knew how to find the distance, and Marc-Andre Barrios, his blitzes did not work, which was exactly what I said in my predictions. But I feel like if Marc-Andre Barrios wins, it's going to be off of a major blitz where they catch the Shara Magomedov. But Shara Magomedov went off for the last 15 seconds of round two. Then Shara caught Marc-Andre Barrios with a knee when he was going for a takedown. Um, Again, he said he would never shoot for a takedown. He did though. He didn't say that, but yeah, man, it was a clinic. It was definitely a clinic. We got some elbows near the end, a triple elbow, which I loved from Shara Magomedov, which dropped him weight, and he won 30-27. It was a pretty dominant performance in a fight that it was definitely a fight where the UFC was trying to give him the easiest rebound that they could. Um, but yeah, he rebounded. He looked incredible. Minus 700 favorite. But yeah, I'd be interested to see if he wants that MVP fight back and when it goes to now 16-1. And like one of the things that I find with some fighters, and especially in the sport of MMA, where it's different from boxing, right? In boxing, having a zero tied to your name is very important. But I feel in MMA, and you kind of see that with Baseball Makachev, I feel, when you get that wash out of the way, it's less weight on your shoulders, and you can go out there and you can focus more on the fight, unless it is a crucial fight for you, which it was for Shara. But I just felt it was a 9-day difference. He had a lot of confidence going in there. He did say he was injured going into the MVP fight. Maybe it was the case, but yeah, really good win for Shara Magomedov. We then move in to our co-main event between Piotr Jan versus Marcus McGee. Man, here I'll make sure I'm showing this guy's name. Now, everybody and their mother had no fucking idea why this fight was booked. Like, it makes no sense. Marcus McGee beats Jonathan Martinez, which again, every major contender has beaten Jonathan Martinez. No disrespect to him. And then you put him against Piotr Jan, who's number 2 in the division, arguably the greatest well, no, he won the belt. Fuck, that doesn't work. Arguably, like, one of the greatest well, he is one of the greatest bantamweights of all time. One of the greatest strikers of all time. And he just schooled him in this fight. McGee was as slow as Jan in the first round, and we know that Jan takes a round or two to really warm up and get to where Jan needs to be. But he was able to read McGee within the first 2 minutes. He was able to see, okay, well, if he's just going to swing big hooks and big uppercuts at me, let me keep the range, let me throw the jab, let me land some leg kicks here and there. And he just pieced Marcus McGee up majority of this fight. Round two, McGee had a really good start to it. He even staggered Jan. Jan then cuts open McGee. This fight was really good, but it made no fucking sense. It made no sense whatsoever. Strikes were close. Jan landed the better shots in my opinion. And we go into the third where it was just Jan backing up McGee, schooling him on the feet, gets a trip, gets him down briefly. Then we get Marcus McGee grabbing the cage. He reverses position slightly. Then we get another trip by Piotr Jan, this time in the middle of the cage. He, you know, he goes to a Kimura. My brain's not working here. And, also, too, what was the translator doing with this kid? Like, I mean, I get it, like, John probably knows that translator, like, all the fighters don't, but like, it was very awkward how he was, uh, standing with one of Jan's sons. I don't know, maybe that's something that only stood out to me, but, yeah, it went basically how I thought it would. Honestly, I thought that Jan won every round. Maybe that's me being biased, but like he just worked so much better. It worked so much cleaner, and I feel like this pisses me off because you have a guy in Marcus McGee who I get he's older. He doesn't have that much time left in the UFC, but you're putting him in there against, like I said, one of the greatest ever doing in this division, number two contender, and you're either going to have him win another fight, give him a major jump up in competition once again, and our fans hate him because you're giving him, you know, fights he doesn't deserve. I don't know, man. It made no sense to me, but good win from Piotr Jan. Wants his rematch for the title one. 100%. I feel like Piotr Jan in 2020, in 2025, 2026, absolutely deserves to get another shot at the title. I just want to see Pantoja versus Marab, though. We know that Marab is fighting in October. It would not surprise if Marab is ready to go in December, and we see, him fight Jan for a second time, which the first fight was really good. Jan defended Marab's takedowns, but yeah, again, it makes no fucking sense to me. You have the number 2 guy taking on number 13. I don't know, man, but this is just UFC matchmaking. We then move on to the main event with a lot of controversy here. Now, Renier Ritter wins by split decision, 48-47. Whittaker out the gate looked really sharp. This is the best that Whittaker has looked in a while. but he found the jab early. Doretta shoots for a takedown, gets into the clinch, lands a lot of good strikes in the clinch, but Whittaker's takedown defense was on point tonight, defending 13 of 15, and it was Renier Doretta kind of just using the shots to get into dirty boxing range and land in the clinch. Again, we know that Renier Doretta comes from the Dutch kickboxing background, but Whittaker did catch Renier Doretta, and he did knock down Renier Doretta. I believe that was in the second, and he definitely won that round for sure. This is what I'll say about Robert Whittaker in this fight. Once again, this is probably the best Robert Whittaker we have seen since like the Paulo Costa fight or something like that. But to me, Renier Doretta, even though he wasn't landing the takedowns, he was still pushing the pace. He was still outlanding Robert Whittaker. Again, he had over double, almost triple the strikes that Robert Whittaker had. It sucks, man. It sucks that Robert Whittaker, they're around the same age. So you can't really say it's aging, but like, he's been around for a while. He lost to Hamza. He beat him with Bob. But yeah, man. But Renier Doretta just went out there and stuck to his game plan. Like, even when you're not getting Whittaker down, which very, very few people can get Robert Whittaker down, you're still pressuring. You're still on Whittaker. And I love both of these guys. Now that Renier Doretta wins, though, you have a really big opportunity for a Dutch versus Dutch fight with DDP. But overall, I thought the card was really good. Again, I sweat through the entire thing. I had to rewatch it. That's why I'm uploading this away. But let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about the fights tonight? What fight stood out to you? Who do you think won the main event? What do you think about the judging tonight? And that's what I got. Later.